Game 1 between the Warriors and the Rockets proved them all wrong.
He'll dance. He'll throw up a shot.
Oh,
my goodness.
are you kidding me?
Geometrically, that should not have happened. Wow, what a shot!
The experts, the media, and the trolls who were basing all their analysis on one game, the most recent one. Experience versus insanely youthful athleticism, absolute cinema. The following is a full tactical breakdown of this first clash, and the first moves that were made by both teams on this basketball chessboard. All right, GOATs, today we've got an awesome sponsor, Prize Picks, the ultimate destination for daily fantasy sports. If you think you know ball and want to turn your pocket change into serious cash, then Prize Picks has you covered. Here's how it works. You pick 2 to 6 players, decide if they are going to have more or less on their projected stats, and boom, you're basically a sports stockbroker without the boring spreadsheets. And it's not just basketball. You can bet on baseball, MMA, golf. Heck, if they had competitive thumb wrestling, I'm sure they'd have that too. Sign up today at prizepicks.com or use code GOATED when you deposit $10. Play your first $5 and Prize Picks will hand you $50 instantly. Whether you win or lose, let's get paid. Moody started the game with the Jalen Green assignment, but with Alpi screening him for the DHO, the speed and passing ability from Houston stood out from the jump.
Going to Şengün, and underneath Thompson could not slam it, and there's a whistle and a foul inside.
Pods had the Van Fleet assignment, and Dre, the primary defender on the man they call Baby Jokic.
Gets after you defensively.
Şengün goes steamrolling into Green. That's a foul on Şengün.
Amin is a freak athlete, so with Jimmy prioritizing taking away the drive, Thompson had enough space for the elbow pull-up. On the other side of the ball, Amin drew the Curry matchup and was face guarding him from the outset. However, the plan was to switch on the Steph off-ball action. And look at this kid guarding both Butler and helping on Moody.
Shot clock at 6. Moody will go in. A bump, a fall, a feed, and a 3 by Butler.
Unreal. With Jalen Green's first step tilting the defense at the point of attack, Alpi caught a body on the roll.
Here comes Şengün! And there goes Şengün! Oh, full extension!
On the cross match, Brooks got Curry, and the coverage was the same. Top block that mofo. When Thompson saw Moody in the gap to help Butler, it was a simple read to the veteran sniper.
And it's Fred VanVleet for 3.
But when Jalen Green was involved in the action, Coach Udoka didn't want his team switching. And this is why.
This is watching Butler, who kicks it back to Podziemski. Here's a 3, and it's down.
When the Rockets got Curry in the post, Coach Kerr had Dre helping. And that overzealousness to help Curry was creating massive holes elsewhere.
Weeks ago against the Rockets, open for the foul line. Şengün again.
But Curry was engaged defensively, even isolated on an island against a speed demon. The vet was holding his own. Houston also preferred to help off Draymond as much as possible, daring him to force them to take him seriously from distance. Rejecting the Şengün screen, Jalen was getting to the rim at will, and that rim pressure was leaving Alpi with perfect offensive rebounding position. With Houston getting paint touches at will, Alpi was feasting on those short little jumpers.
Oh, with a little crossover. And here's Şengün.
Things started to turn halfway into the first when the first substitutions came in.
GP2 the roller, and there you go. Little tic-tac-toe for Butler to lay it up and in.
With Curry drawing 2 on the drive, GP2 was left wide open. Seeing the Warriors starting to catch their rhythm, Steady Freddy quieted the crowd.
East into VanVleet off the Adams pick from the foul line.
Before showing that championship DNA immediately on the inbound.
How about that? VanVleet had it.
He still has it. And now we're going to get a tie-up between he and Gary Payton II.
Curling off the post flare screen, Curry got the step for the tough finish at the rim.
Curry turns the corner, and Steph putting it up and in. And you got to switch, and he just kind of ran through Dillon Brooks trying to switch onto him. Just wasn't ready to defend because Steph, he knew if he just went quick, he'd have an angle to the basket, then teardrop him.
Coach Kerr wanted a high pickup point on Jalen Green. A dangerous bet against such explosiveness and ability to slither amongst the trees.
Jalen Green, and they got their best perimeter defender on him, and that is Gary Payton. Green swerves inside. Cut it! What a play! What a move!
And lazy passes from Moody created clear runways for Houston liftoffs.
And cookies! Tyrese!
And what you've seen so far, Craig, is what? The officials are going to let the guys play.
In early offense, with both Rockets jumping at the chef, Curry split the defense for the easy lay. And because Houston was scared to death of his shot, driving lanes were open to him to exploit.
Attacking before the defense is set. Steven Adams was on the three-point line on him. Steph was like, I'm going to expose this dude. He can't stay with me out here.
21-18, an early three-point lead for Houston to start. To start the second, the Warriors still had no real answer for Şengün's touch and patience inside.
Şengün on top, post in the way.
He's playing with a nice balance right now.
But Dre answered back immediately, slicing through Houston's zone coverage.
Green back in, drives on Van Vliet and over Adams, and he gets it to go.
Kerr's adjustment was to take away all those open driving lanes Houston had had in the first, and the Dubs were turning those stops into transition daggers.
As he lost his balance, and here comes Jimmy Butler. Podziemski, three, book it.
Similarly, Houston was jumping into passing lanes
Knocked away, the long reach there.
and hitting catch-and-shoot trays off the drive and kick.
He's a crafty player, but he's rugged too, one of the strongest on the team. Took three.
But that three is all created by the defensive identity of Tari Eason.
With Butler's drives collapsing the defense and drawing help, Santos was the beneficiary.
Toes in the corner.
You're working off of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is going to create the look. You just have to be ready to shoot it. Guy Santos.
Buddy Hield gave Jabari some dance lessons.
Now Buddy Hield. He'll dance and he'll fire over Smith, and a two is down. Nice shot by Hield.
And Captain Buckets extended the Warriors' lead with both of Houston's best defenders draped all over him.
Oh, and he got it to go, and he was sandwiched. He had defenders draped in front and back.
Defensively, Draymond continued being a pest.
It's another turnover. This defense, once again.
And his playmaking on the other side of the court, chef's kiss.
Cutting, Curry, layup in. What a pass!
18-3 Warriors run. Coach Udoka had to burn a timeout. Off the Şengün handoff to Fred, there was some confusion on who had the Alpi assignment on the scram switch.
Right there on the switch is Butler, and Şengün will sneak inside for two.
And their two-man game kept generating good offense for Houston.
Van Vliet, Şengün inside, got it on the doorstep. Nice little play right there by the Houston Rockets.
Dillon's full court pressure led to a Dubs turnover on the inbound.
This is going to be a turnover.
It is
Created there by
Brooks.
Dillon Brooks.
Oh, he's a menace.
And his activity on the offensive glass forced Coach Kerr to call a timeout.
Rebound inside through the hands of Smith. Picked up by Brooks. Off the glass for two.
And why not? Dillon Brooks, he's the one who created the turnover in the first place.
However, the baby-faced assassin came alive at the end of the first half, and Houston had no answers for him.
Curry's three, good.
And gets his first three here of the evening.
It's Podziemski. 6 points from him. Curry, three, good.
Oh, man.
Oh, he hit that from way outside. Biggest lead for Golden State.
The Warriors outscored the Rockets 29-13 in the quarter, and just like that, they had built a 13-point cushion heading into halftime. The third quarter started with a battle of the NBA's two biggest villains.
And there's a little tanglet, a little bump right there.
Yeah, a little physical play. Welcome to the playoffs, Brooks.
A simple jab fake from Curry opened up the back door, and the Butler served the chef with the dish. With Houston running a high pick and roll to get Jalen attacking downhill, Dre was doing a tremendous job of taking away the three and recovering to protect the rim as well. And Jalen Green on pods was barbecue chicken alert.
Podziemski will launch, and Brandon Podziemski hits a three.
Jalen needed as much help as he could get, but then Jimmy said to the help, "Come here and get your own spanking for spoiling my initial plan."
Thompson is long and athletic and talented. Butler shoots over him and lasers one in.
And when Houston tried to triple team him by using the baseline as a third defender, Butler kept finding those advantage assists. Şengün kept doing his part to steady the ship with a flurry of finishes.
On Draymond Green, the left-handed hook shot rolls down.
He's been the lone bright spot for Houston's offense.
However, in isolation, against the Rockets' best defender, Butler was committing crimes against humanity in the state of Texas.
Picks up Butler. It's a three. Butler, book it. Jimmy Butler. That's right. He points at Reggie Miller and said, I'm doing my best impression of you.
A 20-point Warriors lead. Timeout Houston. Coming out of the timeout with Houston trying to hunt Steph, Uncle Dre kept spoiling Coach Udoka's plans.
So Şengün been the offense. Draymond read that play and knocked it away.
And Steph left me speechless when he did this.
Team apiece. He'll dance. He'll throw up a shot. Oh, my goodness.
Are you kidding me?
Geometrically, that should not have happened. Wow, what a shot.
However, even down 23, the young Rockets refused to say die. They turned up the heat defensively.
Hit could ignite him in a jiffy.
Kept the possession alive somehow. Moody in trouble, has to.
And Baby Jokic kept doing Baby Jokic things.
Now Şengün. Oh! Speaking of prayers, Curry hit one. And now Şengün hit one.
Off the loony pin down, Curry saw a Canadian and it was on sight.
It's with Steph and Jimmy Butler still in there. Dillon Brooks, great defense. Curry, better offense.
But with Fred finding Adams on the pocket pass.
Like the shot goes in, but it wasn't a three.
Adams on the other side, diving into the paint.
And with Adams coming up with offensive rebound after offensive rebound, second chance points were bringing Houston back into it.
Hopefully the third time is the charm on this possession. Van Vliet into the paint to the rim, layup good.
Unbelievable activity from Steven Adams. He made that happen.
That Houston defense everyone was talking about before the series began was finally coming down in full force.
Pass is stolen by Hield, then he throws the lob up to Butler, and then Tari Eason blocks the shot.
Incredible timing there from Tari.
Before you knew it, that once 23-point lead had been cut to just 9, a 17-3 avalanche from Houston to end the third. Alperen Şengün opened the final frame the way he started the second, using his strength and body control to get whatever he wanted inside.
Şengün pile driving his way.
On the other end, Amen Thompson was still face-guarding Steph, but when Pod screened, Houston was forced into a switch and Curry found GP2. However, Jabari Smith Jr. met him at the summit.
Curry to Payton right down the lane, blocked by Jabari Smith Jr. 5 on the possession, Golden State still has the ball.
The Warriors responded with the circle slob action and got Curry a sliver of daylight.
Curry, Thompson comes out on Curry, 3, bullseye.
No way. I mean, that's twice. Shot clock running down. A big three. Look, he's out here just having fun.
But Amen was still unleashing his freakish athleticism, splitting the Warriors' defense before dumping it off to Aquaman, who turned Draymond into a prop. When Houston's zone overloaded the strong side, Pods attacked the closeout and dished it to GP2, parked in the dunker's spot. The Rockets weren't capitalizing on their open looks, and the Dubs were punishing them instantly.
He gets the ball. Ahead it goes. Payton on the release. And he comes in hot and high.
Kerr, as always, had a read on the situation.
Understand something. We don't even need to play with pace, right? We get a rebound. The only thing that matters is securing the rebound, right? They cannot score against us unless we turn it over and we're in a rush, right? Everybody, slow down, get the ball, get the space.
Out of that timeout, Butler collapsed to help on a Thompson drive, and Jabari Smith Jr. was left wide open in the corner.
Here's Green to pick him up, finds Jabari, corner 3!
Three-pointer for the Rockets. There you go, the ball moved.
With Houston's help, defense sucked in on the strong side. Moody found his way to the weak side for a huge bucket, but Amen was still keeping the Rockets very much alive.
Nowhere for him to drive, and he still scores.
Udoka's 6-second signal was supposed to help his team. Instead, it just gave the chef enough time to season, saute, and serve up another soul-snatching 3.
Only 6 to shoot. Curry. Oh, Curry! He hit that from the Woodlands. Oh, there's blood in the water. And the shark by Dave is Steph Curry.
From there, Golden State tightened the screws.
Jabari Smith on the step around the Warriors. Butler comes back to steal it.
And Draymond Green was beating Houston at their own game.
Rebound Green! Out rebounding the Rockets inside to go up by 9.
Beating them at their own game on the offensive glass.
Houston kept counterpunching.
To Fred Van Vliet from the wing. He made the 3!
But then Şengün helped off Moody on a Pods drive, and he buried a back-breaking 3.
Moody corner 3. Got it!
Moses has saved his best for last.
That set the stage for the ultimate closer, Jimmy Butler III.
Butler is there, and up and all down it goes. Şengün will defend Butler. Shot clock is down to 2. Butler will can it.
Not one, but 2 closers on the same team.
And the lead is 11. Another turnover. Butler the other way. And that puts an exclamation mark on this Golden State win in Game 1.
And the Warriors gained an all-too-valuable road win, taking a 95-85 win against the Rockets.